What's up, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. This week, we're featuring 4 beers from LA's newest brewery. That's Eureka Brewing Company in Gardena, California. So, really excited to try these guys out. I have tasted one of the beers, but there are 3 others, and I'm really excited to give them a try. I mean, everyone likes a new brewery, and in 2020, when we saw breweries closing, there wasn't a lot of new stuff to be positive and excited about in the beer scene. You know, places like this opening up are just awesome. So let's crack a beer open and drink through some of these beers. So we're going to be doing a live tasting. We do this every Friday. If you have questions, if you have comments, I want to hear what you guys are drinking. I mean, this is the opportunity. Friday night, 7 p.m. I've been pushing the time back on these live streams so that, you have time to stop working and kick back and have a brew. I think that everyone has that beer in their fridge that they've been like, damn, I can't wait to crack that one open. This is that time. This is that moment. We're going to be able to talk about what you're drinking while I'm going through this tasting. So what's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in live. Jeremiah, what's going on, buddy? Tyler, hey, how's it going? Pops, how you doing, man? Santa hat, I know, I thought about it and I ran out of time. And then I thought I'll just do it next week, but I don't know. I think I'll have to skip next week, so we'll see. Pella man, what's going on? Patus Nalgas, what's going on, man? James Abbott, good to see you, buddy. We're gonna drink some beers. Comment in, let me know what you're about to crack open. Let me know what you're drinking on. And I'm going to get started on this tasting from Eureka Brewing Company. First up is a beer called Super Bloom. And I thought this was an interesting beer for them to put out for their first offering. This is what they describe as a Hoppy Ale, 5.3%. And took a little notes off of their website just to get a little bit more context. So this beer is essentially a light golden ale with the hop character of an IPA. So that sounds pretty good. And they have that kind of California Eureka theme going on. And, it's kind of like a love letter to California, which is nice, I guess, in these times. All right, let's do this. So Eureka Brewing Company, I don't know a ton about these guys, but I'll tell you what I do know. They're housed in the same spot as a former brewery that closed actually earlier in the year. That was Zimix Brewing Company in Gardena. They closed in, I think, January or February, late January maybe. And the place sat empty for a little bit. I mean, not empty. All their brewing equipment stayed in there. A lot of their equipment stayed in there. And then later on in the year, the guys from Eureka took over the space. And it's always nice when there's kind of like a turnkey environment. I mean, I know they had to do some upgrades to equipment and they had to make it their own for sure. But definitely helps speed up the process than if they had to secure their own space and kind of build everything out from the ground up. So always really nice to see that, and really Eureka Brewing Company came to life in a much quicker period of time than we would have seen if they had really tried just starting at some place completely blank. So I guess we'll kind of cheers to the former Zimix as we're drinking these beers. I think they had some good beers near the end, that was definitely an interesting spot. The other thing that I know about these guys, head brewer Phil McDaniel, formerly of King Harbor Brewing. So this guy's been brewing in LA for quite a while. Also a background at Stone Brewing. So he knows his way around the brew house. And from the one beer that I've tried already, it's solid. It's really good. So I think one of the things that I always have going into a new brewery is just reserving my expectations, keeping them relatively low, and giving them a shot, giving them a chance to kind of work their way up. I don't expect someone to hit a home run right out of the gate, but it's nice when there's kind of like a baseline, a standard that they're going to come out of the gate with. And I think that's Eureka Brewing Company. So really excited to jump into beer number 1 of the evening. Again, comment in and let me know what you're drinking tonight. Cheers. All right. We got like a nice, first, like the malt character is really present here. A nice, just bright sweetness on it, complementing the hop character. It's floral. Yeah, it's floral hops, and it's a little bit of malt sweetness. It's a very nice aroma to kick it off with, and light color here, very clear, kind of like a pale gold. Pretty nice. Pello Man drinking Jester King. Nice, man. It's awesome. Beanhorn drinking Toppling Goliath. Nice. So I'm kicking things off with Super Bloom. It's a really nice beer. That floral that I was picking up on the nose really comes through on the flavor as well. This is bright, and it's, I kind of want to say aggressive for like what the kind of body brings you. It's like a light beer, a light golden ale, but with a really their description was right on, that IPA style hoppiness. It's got an aggressive hoppiness to it. Patches Nalga's drinking High Def Brewery. Nice. That is one of the other new breweries in LA. I think they opened a few months before Eureka. And Brian Ches is drinking Pills of Creation. That one's next. I'm looking forward to getting into that. James Abbott drinking Strange Time 5 Triple IPA. Man, doing it big early on a Friday. I like it. Yeah, Tyler, that's a good question because the hops weren't listed for this beer specifically. So really what we have here is easy drinking ale with big hop character. And that's what we're getting out of this. It's straightforward, it's clean, it's crisp. This is going to satisfy the palate of any IPA drinker. It's got a really nice bitterness on it. It's got a great floral and slightly citrusy flavor component. The malt character is there. It gives you a little touch of sweetness and then just gets right out of the way for the hops to shine through. Pretty nice stuff. I like it a lot. This was a great way to kick things off. And as we're moving into beer number 2, that is the Hoppy Pills. I probably should have switched them. And in my notes, I had them switched and I screwed it up. But we're going to go into the Hoppy Pills next. And this is the beer that I've tried before. And this was a fun one to drink because my expectations were kind of flipped from what I thought I was getting into and then what I actually had. Not in a bad way, in a good way, I think. And we'll kind of get into that. And I'll say, I drank this beer on a podcast a couple weeks ago, the Brewed Up podcast with Tyler and Lori. Tyler's on right now, and they have a really cool podcast. They're home brewers, and they love beer, and we talked about beer and LA and all that fun stuff. And that should be coming out in a few weeks. But check out their podcast, Brewed Up. So, let's get into this. Pills of Creation, Hoppy Pilsner, 5.2%. So, in 2020, after, the past few years of breweries getting more and more West Coast, getting more, IPA just dominating the conversation, the phrase and style Hoppy Pilsner these days creates a certain connotation in my mind. And that is West Coast, Hoppy Pilsner, like what Highland Park is putting out. I kind of what they've become known for. I kind of reserve that in my mind. Hoppy Pilsner. It's going to be a light drinking beer with some kind of West Coast hop forward components to it. And so we're going to crack this open and see how it delivers. All right. Yeah, I love that rush of carbonation that came out of that glass. Really tight white bubbles. Yeah, really nicely carbonated just from what it looks like. And just on the aroma here, it's taking my expectations and it's throwing them right in the trash, because this beer is not a West Coast Hoppy Pilsner. This beer is more of your traditional German Hoppy Pilsner. So it is essentially kind of like German style pills, but with the hoppiness amped up a little bit. The aroma's a lot more floral. It's got a little bit more kind of spicy character to it as well. So yeah, it's just kind of like, it's like a German style pills, but like amped up, turned up to 11 a little bit. So yeah, really nice aroma on it. And I do have some notes here. So this one's hopped with Saffir and Tettnanger. So 2 German hops also. So that tells you all you need to know. This is the OG Hoppy Pilsner. And I'm here for it. I'm all about it. So let's give it a whirl. Nice. Really nice beer. It's crispy, it's spicy. Yeah, the malt character on it's got like a nice kind of like cracker character. Little bit of floral. But yeah, just nice and spicy. The way you want like a German like noble hop Pilsner to be. It's really good. You know, it's kind of got like, it's reminiscent of a classic Pils, you know, beer that tastes like beer, something you can just swig back, you know, the quintessential crispy boy. But that it's really hop forward too. So it's giving you like a really, really full flavored experience. I really like this a lot. It's nice. Yeah, really good. So the hoppiness on this beer is all the way through. It's as soon as you bring it up to take a swig, the aromas are popping out of this glass. Then you swig that, and then the flavor kind of brings it all the way through to the end, where on the swallow you get kind of like that bite that you get from, you know, German, noble hops. So yeah, it's really nice. From the notes I took here, Tettnanger is a dual purpose hop, so for bittering and for aroma. So you are getting, you know, a good amount of bitterness out of that hop, which is why I think you have something that's so aroma forward, and then also something that brings a lot of bitterness into the mouthfeel and into the actual drinking experience. Another really solid beer. I really like this beer a lot. You know, when I first had it, I was saying, like, I thought I was gonna be getting something tropical and aggressively bitter, like a West Coast hop Pilsner, and this is just like German style through and through, which is really, really nice. I like it a lot. I think that that these hops, you know, these German style, these noble hops, don't really get a ton of opportunity to shine in the way that some of these new school hops get to, and that's what people are all about. And I think that there's an opportunity here for beers like this to bring that back. And I know Brittany, formerly of Enegrin, the new brewery is called Naughty Pine, I believe. But a lot of those previous beers, and I think kind of your style is also doing some of that really hop forward, like the Edel Pills from Enegrin. I thought was a good example of like letting the German style hops shine and take center stage in a Pilsner. And so I think that there's an opportunity for more beers to do that, and for, I think, the new school hop head to get a little bit of a German experience, because it's pretty neat. It doesn't all have to be tropical, fruity type of experience. It can be spicy, it can be floral, it can be herbal, and I think people would like it a lot. You know, they just got to get used to it. At least for me, you know, like this first sip of this beer, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't know if I like this. And then I was like, oh shit, this is German style. Like, I need to adjust my expectations. And then I totally loved it. So really nice stuff. That was beer number 2. Pills of Creation. Good stuff here. I mean, we're 2 for 2 on the beers here from Eureka. I really like it. And I think something that isn't always consistent across breweries is that I think you can kind of like be a little bit borderline with these beers. You know that they're from the same brewery, so I think that's a thing that is a little bit underrated these days with like all the craziness in label artwork and design, where you have cans from the same brewery that like don't even look like the same brewery and you can't spot them on a shelf. This one, you know exactly. This one, these guys might, and the color schemes are so similar that they might be a little bit too far in the other direction, where, you know, you might not be able to differentiate these two side by side. But I think as they go forward, they'll figure that out with their design concepts. So we're gonna move forward into beer number 3, you know? And I like the conversation going on in here. What's up, Last Drop? Good to see you, Conrad. Been loving the dry hop Pilsner. It's nice to get some flavor with low ABV. Yeah, man. I mean, I think, I don't know if you have this yet, or if, I don't know if I gave you this or if you've tried it, but this is a good one. German style, man. Let's bring German style back. And we got some love for Edel Pills in here. Really nice. All right, Mr. 2020, Jeremiah. Did you tell me what you're drinking yet? I don't know if I missed it. What's up, Shinika? All right, let's move on. Beer number 3. Moving right along. Number 3, we have a beer that really threw me for a loop. This is a beer that is going to be a part of our just announced upcoming holiday hot box. This is West Coast Drift, and it's a hazy IPA. So throw in West Coast in the brand name for a hazy IPA. Really confused me, and fuck it, I like it. So 7%, and I have some notes on this one here. Hopped with Nelson, Citra, and Cashmere. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like this. Is that an oxymoron? I think so. If I remember back to like sixth grade English class, my memory just doesn't go back that far. Nice aroma. Let's get it out of that can, huh? All right. We're drinking West Coast Drift Hazy IPA, and I did a poor job rinsing this glass. Jeremiah drinking Curly Finger English Dark Lager. Nice, that sounds good. From McLeod. I mean, I like the appearance on this beer. It's got like a nice glowing orange color on it. You know, it's got a haze, you know, you can't see through it, but it's not chunky, it's not milky. You wouldn't call this creamy by just on the appearance alone. It's got a head that's really clinging onto the top and moving along quite nicely. I don't know if that's actually a thing, but I actually like seeing how a head moves when I'm moving a beer, and like how does it cling to the sides of the glass? How does it move along with like the actual liquid? The drift was the West Coast moving away from the norm, embracing hazies. Ah, okay. I got it. Yeah, because Phil, I think, didn't brew hazies at King Harbor at the previous brewery. So yeah, got to embrace it these days, right? Like, what are we to do? Got to make what the kids want. All right, so on the nose. Got like a nice orange tangerine. It's not blasting out just because it's a little cold and I can't get a good swirl on this glass. These damn taster glasses. Not really about them for these types of things. And I gotta stress once again, I have the worst deviated septum in the world, and so it makes picking up aromas incredibly difficult. Really nice. Really, really nice. So the hop flavors in this beer, they blend together. That's kind of the best way to say it. It reminded me, like, as I was taking a sip, it reminded me of like some type of like jam blended with different fruits and like just spreading it over a piece of toast or something. Like all the fruits just like spread well together. It was smooth. It really, they all complemented each other. There was a cohesiveness to the flavor profile here. I feel like with hazies, with certain combinations of hops, you can get a lot of shouting in flavor. You can get a lot of something on one side and another battling on the other. And I kind of talked through that on some of the IPAs that I drink, where it's like, one big flavor competing up against another. This one really has everything in unison. There's a really nice harmony to the hop flavors on this beer. Body's on point, on the thinner side for a hazy IPA, I would say, or on the lighter side for a hazy IPA. I'd say it's medium light on body. It's not super thick, relatively easy to swig down and jump into another. For anyone just tuning in, we're drinking West Coast Drift Hazy IPA from Eureka Brewing Company. This is their Hazy IPA, 7%. This is, what did I say? Nelson, Citra, and Cashmere. So yeah, I think that we're all really familiar with Nelson and Citra. And I think when, as we were doing the past couple episodes of this, I'm really curious about certain hops that I'm not like super familiar with, and Cashmere is one of those. So I wanted to make sure I looked up a little bit about what Cashmere might be bringing to the table, just so I can identify it in future beers. So what I have here in the notes, dual purpose hop, so it's both for aroma and for bittering. Depending on how it's used in the brew, of course. Flavors of coconut, melon, tangerine, and other tropical and spicy notes alongside smooth bitterness. So I think it plays right along in that. You are getting kind of like that light, bright citrus, lime, tangerine. I do pick up a little bit of coconut, but not a lot. Really not a lot. I wouldn't have pulled it out unless I had read it. Am I doing a Christmas live next Friday? Probably not. I gotta look at the schedule, but who knows? I don't think I'm doing anything for Christmas because this damn virus is keeping everyone indoors. So maybe I'll just do like a 6-hour live, just drinking everything in this fridge. By the way, it's not LA. I tend to focus everything on LA, but Heady Topper's in town. I don't know if anyone caught that. Heady Topper dropped yesterday, and Focal Banger from The Alchemist. And I picked myself up some, or my wife picked me up some, and that's awesome. That beer hasn't dropped, I don't think, at all this year. Maybe earlier in the year. Yeah, this hazy IPA is super solid. When I talk about beers that I like, I'm talking about balance, and this hazy has the balance. It's not super sweet. It's got a really nice, just like I was saying, complementary, in unison hop flavor. Yeah, Jeremiah, good question. Is it changing as it warms up? It is. It's getting better, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's getting really good. Super smooth. Got a nice little bitterness on the back end just to kind of prop up any of that fruitiness, that sweetness from the fruity component that's in there. So it's really nice. I really like this beer. I wasn't expecting to like this beer as much as I do. because I don't get into hazies that often these days. And also, for what we were saying at the very top, the reason why they named this beer West Coast Drift is because they're drifting away from that West Coast tendency and making a hazy, you know, maybe not for the first time, but starting to embrace the haze. And so for a brewer to start experimenting with hazy IPA, I think it can take some time to get it up to speed. And I mean, I shouldn't doubt Phil. Phil does great work. But, you know, I give everyone the benefit of the doubt that you're not going to kill it with haze right off the bat. I think it's a lot trickier of a style than a lot of people give it credit for. You know, some people call it lazy brewing. You know, I don't really align with that philosophy. I'm also not a brewer, so there's that. But yeah, this is really cool. This is a cool beer. I'm glad they put it out. I'm looking forward to more. I love hazy West Coast hybrids. This isn't that, but it's more of that than not, you know, if that makes any sense. There is a little bit of bitterness on this beer to just kind of like keep it all really well balanced. And I'd be looking forward to Eureka putting out more fun variations of hazy beers in the near future. So Brew Rachos, what up, dude? Thanks for the shout out on the shirt. Got to shout out my boy Bad Dad. Bad Dad Beer Review. If anyone doesn't follow him, give him a follow. He's raising kids and drinking beer. And I recently announced that I am on the pathway to becoming a dad, a bad one at that. So I will officially join the Bad Dad crew next year. But yeah, so I thought I'd wear the shirt, celebrate. So as we're moving on, beer number 4, last beer of the tasting. This one is the Bay Crusher, a West Coast IPA. Saving the West Coast for last, you know? Didn't want to blast out the palate too early. All right, 6.8%. And what do the notes say? What do we got? All right, here we go. So, this beer has Mosaic, this beer has Cashmere, and this beer has Sabro. And if you've followed along with any of my videos, I am not a Sabro guy. There's been a couple beers where I've been like, I dig what they're doing with Sabro here, but it's very, very specific. So we shall see if this is something I can get into. This is my favorite design of the 4, I think. I think it's because it's the only one that doesn't have like the blue and orange. It's got like more of a pink and like a different shade of blue. So it's pretty neat. Like these 3 all next to each other look relatively similar. But then this one has just a cooler gradients and cooler colors and things like that. Really nice stuff. Pello Man shouting out Beechwood, Long Beach for the cellared beers they're selling. Yeah, man, they're really busting it out. A lot of crazy stuff. All right, let's get into it. And as always, if you're just jumping in, we are drinking Eureka Brewing Company, LA's newest brewery. And if you're drinking beer, comment in. Let me know what you're drinking. See you, Tyler. Thanks for joining. Talk soon. Yeah, let me know what you're drinking, and if you're not drinking, because I know not everyone can drink. It's 7 o'clock. It is a little bit early. Maybe you got to wait a couple more hours. Let me know, what are you eyeing in the fridge? What's the beer that you've been looking forward to drinking all week long? Let's go that route. I got a bunch today. I mean, including the Heady Topper and Focal Banger. I got some North Park Beer Company, which I haven't had much of, and I've been really wanting to get. And I got a cool collab between Humble Sea and Liquid Gravity, 2 breweries that I really, really like. So yeah, really excited to dig into those at some point. What else did I get? I think that's it, but good stuff. Yeah, shout out to the Bottle Shop in Sylmar, carrying some great beer. All right, we poured that West Coast, and it's got like a nice kind of light copper, like just dark gold color going on here. Nice stuff, pretty clear. A nice little head. A little sweet on the nose. A little sweet on the nose here. Pine. Britt's drinking her homebrew rye pale ale. Nice. Aaron's drinking the Modern Times Enegren Oat Dunkel collab. I saw when you guys were brewing that. Did that come out? I didn't pay attention. I might need to grab some of that. That sounds cool. That's a cool collab. Modern Times and Enegren. I like that. The combination of those two breweries and brewing philosophies. I dig that. Yeah, this beer has kind of a little bit of an old school nose to it. It's got a little sweetness. It's got a little floral. It's got kind of a bright grapefruit nose on it. Let's drink it. Yeah, it does have kind of like a little bit of an old school flavor to me. Like this isn't like new school West Coast IPA. It's like solid, man. It's not a malt bomb, don't get me wrong. It isn't that old school. Pop's drinking some Institution on the Bones IPA. Nice, man. Reppin' VC. All right, so what did I say? Sabro, Mosaic, and Cashmere in this. So we know we're getting from that Mosaic, we're getting that kind of tropical fruit, a little bit of bitter dankness on it. From Cashmere, we know we're getting tangerine, we know we're getting lime, we know we're getting a little bit of melon. It brings some smooth bitterness to the beer as well. And then with Sabro, we know we're getting coconut, we know we're getting some tea, some lime. So like a little bit of earthiness to it. And now as it warms up, I'm getting more on the nose. That coconut is coming out just a little bit, but it is not overwhelming, at least on the nose. So that Enegren Modern Times collab is only available at Modern Times locations with no distro. Come on, man, you're killing me here. You're killing me. Who's going to Modern Times right now? Pops, Hop VTA. You got it, man. HopVTA.com. I'm digging this beer as I get into it more and more. Because I think for me, and I think a lot of, modern IPA drinkers, malt sweetness in a West Coast IPA isn't the most welcome flavor profile, but when they're combining it with something like Sabro, with some of the, with Cashmere, with Mosaic, you're backing up that sweetness with I think there's some coconut earthiness to it. So there's an earthy component that is balancing out that malt sweetness that is kind of cool. Yeah, coconut, lime, grapefruit. Green grass. It's herbal too. There's like a herbal component to it too. That's really fun. Yeah, this is a complex West Coast IPA. This is not a one note tropical fruit. That's all you get. Down it and peace out to the next one. This is one that you can sit with, and I'm doing it right now. As it warms up, it gets a little bit more complex. It's pretty cool. I really like what's going on with this beer. 6.8%. This is called Bay Crusher from Eureka Brewing Company, the newest brewery to open up in Los Angeles, out in Gardena. Good stuff here. Yeah, really nice. Man, I might be becoming like a Sabro convert. I was totally against it, and I think the past couple times I had it, I've been like, all right, I can dig this. And with this beer in particular, I really like it. Good stuff. So, as I finish up beer number 4, and that's the last beer of this tasting, I do like to take a look back real quick and just pick out, if there's one beer in this tasting that I'm going to pour out the rest of the can and sip on and finish for my evening, because I can't drink all four. Let's be serious here. That's going to be a messy evening. So what's the one beer that I'm gonna break out? And this is a difficult one, actually. This is actually really difficult. So I think the two that jump out to me that I really, really liked were the Pills of Creation, and the West Coast IPA. I mean, the other two were great too, but let's face it, I'm not a hazy guy. It's going to take a lot more to get me there, especially when you have beers like this that really kind of hit me where I like a beer. So this Hoppy Pills, I'll just jump back to that real quick just to give it a nice look right up against that West Coast. And that may be unfair because the palate is starting to become saturated with flavor. So Phil is very intrigued with Sabro. Nice. Yeah, I think we all are. I think it's about how you use it. I think that's the biggest thing. You can't just throw that thing right up front. And I think like most crops, that crop has evolved over the past few years. So, I think when it came out early on, people were trying to figure it out, and now it's become a hop that's really, really widely used. I think people are trying to figure it out. Aaron's saying Tarantula Hill Sabro is a great example. I completely agree. I really, really like that beer. I thought they did an awesome job of balancing Sabro. I'm forgetting what other hops they used in that beer. I think it was Nelson and Mosaic, but I'm not positive. But I agree. That beer was awesome. It's a great name. I'm so glad they jumped on that name. The can design is legit. I really love that design too. All their designs, but that one is like, bam, in your face. Really, really stands out. Couldn't recommend Sabro enough. Sabro. Is that how you say it? I don't know. I have to differentiate between how I say Sabro and how I say Sabro. I guess I gotta say it like a bro. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna try this this Hoppy Pills. I think this is it for me. Yeah, this is it. It was pretty clear right off the bat. I dug what the West Coast IPA is doing. It's a really interesting beer to me. But this is the beer that I am going to reach for, crack open, and enjoy time after time. This is Pills of Creation Hoppy Pilsner, German style, Tettnanger and Saffir hops. Really, really good stuff. But yeah, that's Eureka Brewing Company. Super glad to try their beers. Glad that they're out there and available. Opening up a brewery in 2020 might be madness, but they're pulling it off so far. So it's really cool. First up was Super Bloom. This was their Hoppy Ale. Then there was the Pills of Creation, Hoppy Pilsner, German style. Next up I had West Coast Drift. This was the Hazy IPA, which I thought was pretty well done. And then last but not least, Bay Crusher, the West Coast style IPA. So good stuff all the way around. You guys look out for Eureka. They're in Gardena. You can get your cans there. I don't know if they'll probably be distributing cans to other places. But also the Hot Box, Holiday Hot Box. This beer will be included. We are including one beer from Eureka in the Hot Box. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head to our Instagram, head to our website, hoppedla.com/store, and we are selling a holiday gift pack, a box delivered to your door with 8 different beers from 8 different breweries all around the county. Beers that are fresh, brand new releases, beers that are taproom only, beers that you'd have to drive from Westlake to Covina to San Gabriel to Long Beach to get. Lots of really good stuff. And We're doing a custom designed shirt as well. I'll be wearing that on one of these episodes as soon as I get them made. This all came together really quick. But yeah, we're trying to make like LA beer in a box, an LA beer experience in a box. And we're really excited about this first one. And we hope we're going to be doing some more. We're getting a good response to it. And yeah, if you're looking for a last minute holiday gift with some really good beer from a bunch of different breweries, there's going to be a virtual tasting that I'm going to do similar to this, but probably a more structured environment. And there's also going to be a replay for tasting. It'll be a private link. And yeah, I would love to have you guys be a part of that. If you are have the spare money, it's $99 for the box. If you're looking for a good gift or you just want to get yourself something, yeah, props to Design on Draft for designing the shirt. It's a really, really cool shirt. And that's only available in that box. So hopefully some of you guys check it out. And thanks for joining me tasting through Eureka Brewing Company. They're LA's newest brewery, and I'm super excited for them. I don't know if I'll be doing this again next week. It's Christmas. So maybe I'll see you next week. Maybe I'll see you in 2. But have a happy holidays. Drink some good beer. Hit me up if you have any questions. If you want to get beer, if you have questions about beer, hit me up. I got you. Peace out, guys.